Hi, my name is Rachel Weissman, and I will be presenting my thesis topic, Sustainable Solutions to Menstrual Waste. Menstrual products contain more plastic than we realize, and the waste produced from these products is immense. Over the course of a lifetime, a single menstruator will use 5,000 to 15,000 pads and tampons. Additionally, a single person is expected to throw away roughly 400 pounds of period product packaging. In the US, around 12 billion pads and 7 billion tampons are thrown out every year. A year's worth of disposable period products leaves a carbon footprint equivalent to nearly 12 pounds of CO2. Currently, to address this problem, there are several successful sustainable menstrual products. However, they tend to be less commonly used as they are more expensive, involve frequent cleaning, and require closer contact with menstrual blood and the vagina. Because of these reasons, people still tend to gravitate towards the disposable products. The advantages of disposables are that they are low cost, easily accessible, simple to use, and sanitary. In order to make the shift from disposable to sustainable, we must first make an educational shift as well. Current stigmas around menstruation and the way self-care is taught across educational institutions encourages young menstruators to utilize pads and tampons. These products are absorbent in nature, allowing the user to never come in contact with their own menstrual blood. This relates to the problem that the idea of menstruation is culturally constructed from stigma and associated with being dirty. In many cultures, it's a taboo topic that should be handled in private. Because of low access to menstrual products and because of the stigmas around periods, it's estimated that 23 million young people drop out of school each year. This is highly common in India, where society has not fully accepted the normalcy of a menstrual cycle. While India's government has no tax on menstrual products, people are still resorting to making their own products as the products are still too expensive and inaccessible. In the United States, our government recognizes pads and tampons as luxury goods instead of necessary items. Because of this classification, menstrual products are taxed, also known as the pink tax or the tampon tax. Currently in the U.S., there are only 20 states that don't have a tampon tax. State and local tax can add as much as 10% to the cost, and most individuals spend upwards of $1,000 on menstrual products in their lifetime. Menstruators in the United States are estimated to spend an additional $150 million because of the tax. There were over 200,000 incarcerated menstruators in the U.S. in 2016, and only 13 states that require menstrual equity laws in correctional facilities. Because of the lack of regulation and distribution and the high cost of products in correctional facilities, many people are forced to use toilet paper to manage menstrual bleeding. Throughout my research, I came across several videos that demonstrate how prisoners convert a pad into tampons, a practice commonly used by incarcerated people. Keeping this in mind, I'm inspired by the many efforts of DIY menstrual products and believe there can be major benefits to designing a product that's hybrid. With pads and tampons being the most popular and familiar, I would like to design a simple way to convert one into the other. By doing this, we can reduce waste by utilizing every bit of material. It will also reduce one's home inventory and shopping frequency, as many people tend to use both pads and tampons. This design concept should be accessible, comfortable, sustainable, and most importantly, empowering. By giving the user the ability to choose how they want to wear their tampad, this product can be used by more people and can continue to offer discretion to those who want it. When the tampad is opened, it's a ready-to-use pad. To use it as a tampon, first tear along the perforated edges and separate it from the rest of the pad. This edge strip will be utilized as the tampon string. The remainder of the pad is then folded in half down the center in the long direction. Once the tampad is folded, tightly tuck and roll from one edge to the other. Before you reach halfway through your roll, make sure you place the new tampon string around the center. Continue to tightly roll to secure the string in place. This product could benefit many different groups of people, including educational institutions, first-time menstruators, low-income communities, incarcerated people, and medical offices. To better understand how a product like this could be made, I began to research the materiality of current tampons and pads. Pads tend to contain more plastic than tampons because of the composition of its many layers. Layers like the top sheet and back sheet contain polyethylene and polypropylene to allow fluid to enter but not leak out. Pads also have an adhesive backing, which contain polymers, resins, and oils. They are also considered a Class 1 medical device by the FDA. Because of their categorization as a medical device, it's difficult to determine the true impact of plastic from menstrual products because medical waste does not need to be tracked. I obtained several popular brands to conduct a product dissection to better comprehend the material makeup of a pad. After removing the packaging layers and top sheets, I discovered that both Always and Carefree pads contain a rough mixture of fluffy filling. The Always pad contained non-uniform clusters that were difficult to separate, while the Carefree pad had finely shredded and gritty filling. After wetting the pads with water and food dye, I learned that the gritty texture in the Carefree pads were actually hydrogel beads, or sodium polyacrylate gel, which is synthetic and not biodegradable. This gel is what gives the pad its strong absorbency. Many tampons also incorporate some bits of plastic in the absorbent part itself. A thin layer often helps hold the tightly packed cotton part together. In some cases, the string is made of polyester or polypropylene. A tampon's applicator is typically composed of polyethylene, which is a commonly recycled material, but because applicators are considered medical waste like pads, they are not recycled and go into landfills. I was eager to conduct a tampon dissection so I could more fully understand the process in which they are made. After a few minutes of firmly rolling a tampon between my thumb and my index finger, the layers of the tampon began to loosen. I gently placed my fingers between the layer to find the seam line and separate it from the rest. I was able to unroll it to the center, where I found another seam to separate and unfold. This was where the string was looped around the fabric. With my interest in materials, I reached out to Elizabeth Sharp, who is the founder and CEO of Sustainable Health Enterprises, or SHE. SHE helps women jumpstart social businesses to manufacture and distribute affordable menstrual pads, while also providing health education and advocacy in Rwanda. Elizabeth has also helped develop menstrual pads composed of banana fibers, which are completely biodegradable and are a native plant to the area. I'm still waiting for an answer from Elizabeth, but I hope to hear from her soon to gain further insight into her experiences. Thank you for listening.